All right, but
Hello, world. We're here. Episode number 2 of the Forbidden Fruit Dating and Relationship Podcast. I'm here with the one and only. You know what I mean? The one and only G from the DMV. Really from Pluto.
nah.
You know what I'm saying? My man, Jason, man. And what it
Yeah,
is?
we're definitely on another frequency. As of currently, I do not like to view myself as a human being.
Yeah, right? Taking you back
It's,
to that Wayne album. I'm not a human.
yeah.
I like that title, even though I never really listened to the album. I like that.
Did you listen to the new Little Wayne album?
I did actually, and it was pretty. It was actually all right. It was good to me. It was actually really good. But
Right.
um, a lot of true Wayne fans, because I'm not gonna lie, during the whole Wayne era, I was the Kanye guy. I was the guy. You know, it was almost like you either liked one or the other. You're either the Kanye fan with all
Or
that,
no,
or
Lil
you're
Wayne.
the Wayne fan. I was the Kanye, but a lot of Wayne fans made me aware that the album wasn't all that. If you're a true Wayne fan, but for me, I thought he did a pretty good job, man. I thought it was a good album. How about you?
Uh, I heard it. I haven't heard. I didn't hear all of it, like all of it, but I heard majority of it, and what I've seen so far, and what I've been listening to so far, I fucked with it heavy. I fucked with it heavy. Like, I think like the first. I think it's like not the first song because I don't count that as a song. It's almost like a intro type
Mhm.
thing. But after that, like it was like those intros that people make like when they first start something.
Yeah.
And after that, those like 4 songs, they're straight fire.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
all the way up to Mona Lisa.
Yeah, Mona Lisa was no joke, bro. That song was crazy.
I liked which one? Dedicate a lot. That shit was tough.
And he,
I don't know. I don't know if you remember that one.
yeah, I remember Dedicate. It kind of had that old school vibe, like that old Wayne, like that 2000s vibe. You know what I mean? So it was refreshing. It was
Mm-hmm.
very refreshing. Hearing that. But
Sorry, I'm fixing my camera here.
oh no, it's all
Not liking this view.
catching you definitely.
Uh,
I'm like, this man Jason is definitely one with nature. I've been speaking up like, oh, the grass is touching my arm. That means there's 37 bugs on me. I gotta get out of here.
is that you? That's
how,
with you.
yeah, so
Alright,
let's get started, man. You know, it's funny because my boy today called me, Brad, and was just like very interested in just like he's very big on. He doesn't like to be manipulated, and I'm kind of like that too. And he's like, yeah, bro, you know, when it comes to these joints, bro, like, and he brings up the idea that you know, they're they're
he
focused
doesn't.
essentially. There's always a survival focus. You know what I mean?
On what?
It's like this underlying survival focus. Things like money, success, where you're headed in life. It's and I explained to him, man, the idea of love and that whole thing is under the premise of, you know, look, man, I like your personality, I like who you are, and we're gonna make it work. But as you begin to go a little deeper, you begin to realize that it's not that simple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you like, for example, me and you, bro, we've studied the DNA code. We studied how the sexes deal with each other on a conscious level as well as a subconscious level. And when you begin to realize that, you begin to realize how important survival is, man, in this game, and how it's not, unfortunately, it's not just about love. And I think that's important for guys to know because, and women to know because it kind of takes away those illusions that we all have that
Yep.
make us think that our mate's just going to be there because we're just together now and it's love. It's like you realize that as a man, especially, like, you have to fight every day and earn your position every day when you have a woman in your life that you're dealing with on that level. And that alone is just something I think that's very powerful for people to kind of know. I mean, what do you think about that, Jason? You know?
Hold on, there's the bee right here. Ah! It's like a fucking bee. This shit was trying to kill me.
There you go. Welcome to my world, man.
Like, why the fuck? This shit is just chilling right here. I don't know if you see it.
Let me see. Oh yeah, man. You got patience, bro. You got patience.
Oh shit. That shit is coming near me. All right, I'm gonna just fuck around. Um, what I gotta say about that is, a lot of guys don't know that what they're dealing with is the DNA and nature part of life. We're always given this beautiful fantasy of what is and what isn't, and what should be and what it shouldn't be, and where it's going to go and where it's not. And this fantasy is given in a way that uh, is given to the majority. And the majority, obviously, are getting fooled.
Yeah.
And since the majority is getting fooled, what does that mean about what you have been interpreting life as? Because that means that the majority could have been us, or it is currently us right now, on how we view everything in life and woman, and the retrospect of how we even perceive ourselves. I think in reality, we have to see everything as not a separate thing, but almost as one. Like we needed to become attractive mentally, spiritually, but also physically.
Mm-hmm.
Because we do still live in this, physical world. It's not just about, who has the smartest mind or who has the most attractive mind, even though it almost is.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, because you can't be like a fat fucking slob and then be all enlightened, or living in a way that, say you have a lot of money, for instance, and you don't work out and you're this fat slob. Don't get me wrong, you're going to attract people because of what you do have, but that doesn't necessarily mean the people that you want to attract. You're just going to attract people just in general.
Exactly.
And say if you do have a good personality, or you do know how to love correctly, that doesn't mean you're going to attract the girl that you want to love the most, the girl that you want to put an effort in loving, because there's going to be a lot of girls out there that will want your love, but you don't want to give it to them specifically. And if we get into this word love, man, fuck. I think all of us, I mean, who really searches for the word love, or like breaks it down, or tries to figure out what it really is? Not many people at all.
Yeah, we just kind of assume, it's like we have a collective agreement that love is just love, right? It's what you feel. It's stronger than everything. Love is not this. Love is kind. Love is, and I'm like, look, man, the truth is, in my book, love is a feeling that you get, which means that love essentially is just like any emotion, which means that it can fade. So this whole idea of love, here's a prime example. I mean, a lot of people honestly end up hating some of the people they've loved in life, right?
Yeah.
So what you realize is, on the other coin of love, on the other side of the coin for love, you have hate. And once you understand that, you begin to realize that once you get the girl, it isn't just like, or once the girl gets the guy, it isn't just love and you just ride the wave. Like, I think the happily ever after kind of messed us up as kids.
Yeah.
Just thought, like, once you get the love, you just ride the wave. Nobody really informs you that once you get the love, like, you're actually just starting. Once you get the love, guess what? Now you got to keep the love. It's just like money. Like, once you get that money, the game really begins, because now you have to keep the money and multiply the money. You know what I mean?
100%.
Most people that win the lottery, for example, end up losing that money within like less than a year or two. So that shows you it's not just about the love. It's not just about the money. It's about the mindset and the intelligence on how to keep the money and keep the love, for example, continuing to come in. So you begin to look at love more you begin to take more responsibility with the idea of love. You know what I mean?
I definitely get you 100%.
And I think that,
and it's not a thing that you just look for.
What were you gonna say?
I was saying it's not a thing that you just look for. It's not a thing you just yeah. I guess my term or my idea is just look for. Like a lot of people be like, all right, shit. I guess this is a point in my life where I look for love, and then like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, where
Like,
do you start,
how do
right?
you look for love? What
Does it
the
start with
fuck
the
is
name? Does it start with
like?
the
What is all right? All right. What the fuck is love? What is love?
good question, bro?
Let's start there. What is love?
Okay,
Like,
what's
what is love? What is the actually definition?
you want me to look it up or you want me to make it up? Because I can make up a good one.
Yeah. Let's look up the definition of what
Oh, this is great.
society has agreed upon
Yeah,
about this term love.
love. This is great. I've actually never looked up the definition of love because we all think we know it already, right?
Right.
Okay, love definition. Okay, you ready? It's actually a good definition. You ready? It's an intense feeling of deep affection. Number two, a, thanks a lot when they give you the second definition is a person or thing that one loves. Like, you can't use the word love in the definition too. Like that's just, whatever. Good job, dictionary.com, whatever. We'll use the first one. An intense feeling of deep affection. So this is
Like,
because it's
I
like
was gonna say, even in the second definition, they don't even know what it
you don't know
is.
what it
They
is.
just said
Like so
something that you
love.
love.
Um,
That's love. Something you love.
that's really funny. But what I'm getting is like that's actually a good definition. See, people have love confused because they ain't look up the definition, man. People think love is this all amazing, like the sustaining thing, but really it tells you right here in the dictionary. Love is an intense feeling of deep affection. Now here's the question I want to ask you. An intense feeling of deep affection. That's temporary, right?
Yeah.
Even
An
love.
intense feeling. A feeling is just an emotion, right?
Mhm.
Emotion that you feel. A feeling is an emotion that you feel.
Wow.
Feeling is an emotion that you feel.
A feeling is an emotion that you feel. The
So
love
it's
is an
like when you feel scared, you feel the emotion of scared. That's the feeling. So when I hear that definition, all I hear is if we're talking about what we're talking about relationships, what happens when you don't feel the love?
wow. No, bro, this
Like
has me thinking, bro, because you know when people be like, "You didn't love me, you didn't love me, really," but
yeah.
it's like if we look at the definition, like I did love you. You know, like, I love you then, like I did. So I love you, but I love
That's funny, yo. That's so funny.
people make love something that's like stagnant, and
They
see,
put it in a box.
they put it in a box.
They put love in a box, and that's what fucks up the magic of the word love
Exactly. That's what fucks.
because it's just a feeling. Imagine if someone was just like, all right, every time you open, this box, you're gonna get a certain emotion, and you're like, all right, and every time you went to the box, you opened it up, and it gave you that feeling or an emotion, and you're like, okay, this is fun.
Mhm.
But then you open it so many times, you get so used to it. And then by like the 15th time or 20th time, you're like sitting there like, I already know what's in here.
Wow, you know it's
And
funny.
then,
Go ahead. What you gonna say?
yeah, go ahead. I was going to say at that point, then they kind of just be like, all right, I'm excited for it. And then they're really not just because someone else is like, are you ready to open the box with me? And they're like, oh, fuck, all right, I guess.
Oh, that's huge, bro. Like, so let's step into the world of a beautiful woman, right?
Yes.
Men
The world of
are
woman.
like she's really getting the emotion of love from men. She looks at it like it's fake, but when we look at the definition of love, if a man, for example, really loves the way you look or really loves the way you are carrying yourself, you will actually receive those feelings from him as love. it will be that intense, his attraction to you, right? So
Mm-hmm.
imagine all these guys are giving you the love frequency all the time. What do you think makes them become so cold, or like the idea of a bad bitch or the girl that's just like an asshole towards people? Is because she's getting all of this love from men, and she's so used to the frequency of that that it's what actually intrigues her is the guy that doesn't give her that, is the guy that gives her something different, right? And this is when we start tapping into that high level of attraction, or being that guy that gets the nines or tens, whatever you want to call it, right? It's you
Yeah.
understanding that I don't need to see this girl and offer up all this love and admiration, because I have to understand that she's so overexposed to that that sometimes when you actually come at her cold, or when you have no love frequency coming at it, that actually becomes
Yeah.
intriguing. Because which men got to realize, I'm thinking, is a lot of women aren't looking for love, and it's not because they're not loving people. It's because they're getting this immediate desperation feeling of love from a lot of men that's coming from scarcity. It's not love coming from abundance. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
very interesting when you start to get to that level, because now we're talking about an advanced concept of love now, or
Right.
you know what I mean?
So let's put a situation, and let's put a scenario.
Okay.
First of all, look how amazing it is outside.
Oh
Like,
man,
look at the sky.
it's beautiful.
It's amazing, man.
I mean, it's a beautiful week in the DMV.
But
Over, and it's beautiful out here all week.
it is, man. It is about to be a beautiful week. And I've been outside every day.
I can't blame you.
But let's put a scenario. Let's put a situation. We got a man that is in his 20s, and say through high school, he wasn't that great with girls.
Mhm.
He's in college right now, or he's in a place where, he's like, all right, I got to get this part of my life handled.
Exactly.
Like, I like women. Like, what the fuck do I do? Like, how do I approach this? And it's so funny because no one has a format, or like no one has an idea, or no one has a way of going to find love and actually coming back with the treasure.
Yeah.
Everyone loves the idea. Everyone loves the idea of, going out, finding their soulmate, and coming back home and living a happy ever after type shit.
Yeah.
But it's like, how the fuck do we do that?
Exactly.
How the fuck do we do that in the world that we weren't taught to even love ourselves?
Oh my goodness. let's talk about there, bro, because we're trying to get love, this deep affection of appreciation from someone. But it's like we looking at it externally, and by doing that, right? What's
Right.
is we essentially are, if we do come in contact with that love, we become slaves to it because we haven't cultivated it.
Yeah.
So
In ourselves.
it's like when we think about love, all what we said with love was a deep feeling or affection, right? Let me look at it one more time. Love, right? An intense feeling of deep affection. Let me ask people, like, who has an intense feeling of deep affection for themselves? Right? This has a negative.
Okay, hold on. Now we enter in a different level. Okay, we just looked up the word love to describe something outside of us to feel for.
Yeah.
And then now what you did is just took that and said, do you feel this inside by yourself first? Like, wow. Like, if anyone's hearing this, like, it has to hit them a certain way. Like, this has to be an eye opener, because it's like, I know this, and this is constantly what we're studying, but fuck, man, when you say it, like, when you put it in those words in that way, when you just redirected it back to yourselves, it hits differently.
Yeah.
Like, that is intense. Like, fuck, that's what everyone's missing, because I was just in the morning, I was experiencing, when I was doing my thing, skateboarding, a blissful morning. Like, say that part of my morning was very blissful. I felt challenged. I loved myself. I was loving myself. For some reason, when I went back home and I was getting ready for the afternoon, because I have work,
Yeah.
I didn't feel that anymore.
Wow.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, internally, I don't feel good. Externally, everything makes sense, what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, nothing's off. I'm having a good day. It's sunny outside. Nothing's off externally. But why don't I feel so, what you just said, deeply? What was it that they said?
Intense feeling of deep
This intense feeling of deep infection within myself. Why wasn't I feeling that within myself in the afternoon?
Yeah.
Like, I felt that in the morning. Why the fuck did it change right now in the afternoon?
Yeah.
And fuck, man, when you say it like that, I think it just opens your mind to dig in right into the core of what the fuck that is.
And you know what? And you know us, man. We're scientists, so don't mind us. But look, I'm gonna go look at the word affection. And here's what affection is. Okay. Affection is a gentle feeling of fondness or liking. It's gentle. And what I'm noticing is when it comes to ourselves, like we're so freaking as people, like we're so critical. We're so like, oh, I made a mistake. The world's about to end for a lot of people. Like we hold ourselves to such a tough standard that it's like, how do we have the room to love each other ourselves? Because when you look at it, a gentle feeling, fondness or liking. So essentially, it's like, bro, it's gentle. Like, bro, just look at yourself. Like, you're pretty cool, right? Like, it's a liking. It's a
right.
It's
Exactly.
like, yo, you're doing good things, bro. Relax. Like, it's affection. How many people are affectionate to themselves? Like, you know what, man? You're trying, bro. You're working, bro. Like, you look at what you did today, man. Like, we don't do that. You know what I mean?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
We don't even say it's not even saying anymore. It's like we don't even see, like, fuck saying anything. We don't even see ourselves anymore. We don't, like, right now I'm outside because for some reason my spirit, or let's interpret it a different way, I wanted to be outside. So guess what? I came outside. I'm outside because I want to be outside. I like being out in nature. I like, just chilling in the sun. Like, it's a nice feeling.
Yeah.
And we all know this. We all know this, right? We all know this principle that in the sun is a nice feeling.
Yeah.
We all know that the sun does something to us.
Yeah.
It makes us feel good. It gives us vitamin D, for the ladies. And like a lot of people will have something triggered in their mind, just like me. They'll have something like, okay, like, motherfucker, you like the water, or motherfucker, you like going outside.
Yeah.
But then they will do everything except go outside. They'll do everything except going near water. They'll do everything except for skateboarding. They'll do everything except for painting. They'll do everything except for making the music they want to make and they need to make. And they kind of just like put it to the side because something else is more important. And that something else that's more important makes you forget to feel intense. What was it? The definition of love? Intense
feeling of deep affection
towards yourself, because you have not even satisfied yourself. So how can you ever satisfy anything else?
Oh my goodness, bro, this is huge. Here's what I'm getting from what you just said. This is huge. What's in the way of love? Not only for other people, it's in the way for other people, but what's also in the way of love, loving ourselves. You know what that thing is? Based on what you just said, what I got from it? It's survival, brother. Survival is getting in the way of love because we're so focused on survival. We're so focused on making sure we're thriving on a certain level that we don't have the room or the time to appreciate and gently, love the things that we're actually producing. Because what I'm seeing is, okay, I did that, but I still got to eat tomorrow. I still got to do this tomorrow. Like, I still got to do all. We're giving our attention to all of these survival things and totally missing the attention that we deserve when it comes to loving ourselves. We essentially are choosing survival over love.
And you know what's happening inside our minds when that's going,
What?
that thought pattern?
What?
Um, the words we're saying to ourselves internally is destroying our thing we're seeing in front of us.
Exactly.
Because what's happening is you go into survival mode in your mind, inside your mind.
Yeah.
And the words that are repeating is, are you doing this? Are you okay?
Yeah.
What are you going to do next? Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah,
Da,
blah.
da, da, da. Da, 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 da. And then it kind of has that flavor. Da, 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 da. Na, na,
Yeah.
na, na. Na, 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 na.
No, no.
Na, na, na. Do they care about you? Are you about to eat? What are you doing? Are you safe?
Wow.
Are you in a good space? Is the work you're doing right now actually you? But like, you get all these things, and then by the time you know it, you've been thinking this way for about a whole 2 weeks straight, and then in those whole 2 weeks, you're like, "Fuck, why don't I love myself?"
Yeah. And
And
let's
then,
extend it, man. That 2 weeks turns into 2 months, which turns into 2 years.
yeah, years.
So 10 years go by. You have all the survival things that you need. You got the house, you got the home, you got your money together. You have all these things, but guess what? You still don't love yourself, and you still don't have true love with your partner, right?
Yeah,
Those 10 years you spent keeping most of your awareness on survival.
yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, we had to have that. Like it's just both sides always getting hit
Balance, though.
of
It's the
everything.
balance. And there's people who essentially, um, and it's not even the balance. It's an art form.
Yeah, it's an art. You know, when you want to hear something so funny, I don't think there's such thing as like ultimate balance. Like, if I'm like, yo, you got to balance the way I balance, because that wouldn't make sense. Because what if you're not lacking on the same? Say there's a bar, and you got to fill it up the bar, and say my bar is halfway filled and yours is empty, and then we take a scenario or an idea of love and say, oh, yo, and you tell me or I tell you, hey, bro, you just got halfway to do work of loving yourself, and then you're like, okay, and then I do
No, I'm
what
sorry.
is that?
That's my dumb fucking phone. Don't mind y'all.
All right, is it the Donald Trump shit?
Yeah,
I
it's
think
yeah. Let me see. Okay. Better
it
not.
is.
Yeah, but he said no action is needed, everybody. So I think we're okay.
I
What
didn't
up?
get one, or I might have. I don't know. But anyways, so you have this bar that's uh, mine is half full, yours isn't, and I tell you, hey, bro, you only need to work on the aspect of love this amount, which is only half of my bar
Mhm,
left,
mhm.
and then you go on, you work halfway through the bar of love, and I work halfway. I'm fulfilled in love, but you're only halfway fulfilled.
Mhm.
So then this one, it gets to the point where it's like, what is balance, right?
Right.
And I think it's just balance in your space, in your mind, in your world, in your reality. Because my balance, like, say if I need to work on myself for 1 hour or 30 minutes, and it takes you 3 hours to work on yourself, motherfucker, you need those 3 hours.
Exactly.
If you need to sit down with someone for 2 hours to get them to understand you, you need to sit down with them for 2 hours. It's not like a game. It's not a game where it's like who does it faster,
Mhm.
or who can finish the objective sloppy as shit, and then still finish the objective. The objective will not be complete unless you are internally fulfilled in whatever the aspect is. And especially with, like, when we're talking about connecting with other people, like, once you get a girlfriend, once you get a boyfriend, like, how much of them are you willing to understand, and how much time are you putting to understand? Because maybe it takes one whole fucking day for this couple to understand each other, and it takes 2 years for this one to understand each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much work are you willing to put in? And
Exactly.
I feel like that's where people get it fucked up, because they'll see one person, no problem, getting it done, and then they're like, man, like, why am I not doing that? Why don't I feel like that quickly? And then you got to ask yourself, Really, why don't you? And maybe because they put in more work, maybe, there's a lot of reasonings. I mean, I don't know, maybe because they grew up in a better household and we grew up in a shitty one. I don't know, there's many reasons. But do you go out there and then like blame those reasons for happening? No, you
Yeah,
just fix it.
you
You
fix
don't
it.
complain. You don't complain about it, you just fix it.
Because guess what? Once you fix it, it's fixed. It's like another example, like you just said. Let's say a guy is two guys are 300 pounds, right? But they're working out. One guy ends up getting to 150, or I'm sorry, 180. He's looking good, and he does it in a year. The other guy, it takes him 2 years. At the end of the day, as long as after those 2 years, y'all both are looking good, who gives a
Yeah.
fuck? Get there. That's the key. You know what I mean? And I like what you said, man, which is big to me, is we got to realize that it's not about necessarily balance more so than it is being an artist. Because an artist will you give him 10 colors to make a picture with. He's not going to be balanced in the sense that he's going to use all 10 colors the same way. Like, no, that's not how it works. But guess what? He's going to use them as necessary to create a perfect balanced picture that gets across what he wants. And that's how we have to begin to view this art of balance and love and survival.
You know what I just got?
What?
We are given the tools, but it's our idea on how the tools should be used.
That's the
We
power
are,
right there.
yeah, we are given the tools to love, but it's our idea how we create the love, or the idea on how we accept it or we reject it, or how we apply it, or how we expand it. That's our power, is to create something that's given to us, like the word love. Like, love is given to us. Like, we're born into a world where there is love already. Like,
Yeah.
there's the idea of love. Like, love exists. So
Yeah.
how do we use this to expand and not kind of just stay stagnant, or even ignore it, which most people are doing?
Yeah. Definitely.
Because it's not just love with, like, if we're talking about love, that means we're talking about, boyfriend and girlfriends and marriage and all that shit. We're talking about love because the word love, not the ideas that love started to bring because of human ideas, but just the idea of love. Like, how does it feel to love oneself? I mean, only the people that love themselves know how that feels.
Exactly. How does it feel to love anything? Like, honestly, there's a lot of people going through life who don't even really love anything. Think about it, bro. Like, a lot of people have let go of their passions. Think about it. Your passions connect you to love. If you have a deep, intense connection to a song or to a creation that now you're beginning to practice the frequency of love. And this is how you begin to develop it, so that when you meet that partner, you can transfer that to them because you've already cultivated
Yes.
it. But people are looking for a person to actually just become the love for them. And they don't realize, no. Love is its own entity. Don't attach marriage. Don't attach boyfriend, girlfriend. Don't attach nothing to it. Let it be its own thing.
Exactly.
Learn how to work
Exactly.
with energy so that you can begin to have love without even needing nobody. But guess what? Those are the people who always end up with all the love. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Because like you just said it. I think you just said it. It was so big what you just said. And I think, a bunch of people will miss it. But I'm going to bring some light to it. You said love is just love. It's not like the way I was picturing it in my mind is love. Like, say this is love. This is love. Say love brings the relationship, which is either yourself or another person. Love is here, but this gets attached because it connects with love. But this is love still. This is not love. This is the relationship. They're two different things. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, this is still love, even though it could connect and, mush with it. It's still separated because it's still its own thing. And I think a lot of people, what they do is when they enter these relationships, they get into the state where love is the relationship. Like, love is attached with it. So whenever they feel something opposite of love, they think the relationship is bad. But that's false, because the relationship is the relationship. Love is love. Those are two fucking different things.
Exactly.
Like, anything can happen to a relationship.
Exactly.
anything can happen. You can be sad in a relationship. You could be depressed. You can be super happy. You can be courageous. You could be a lot of things. But does that define the relationship? No.
Yeah.
Does love define the relationship? I mean, to a certain extent, but not really.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? You have love and you have a relationship. It's up to you how you go about combining the two. But you got to understand that just because you have love doesn't mean you're going to keep your relationship. And just because you have a relationship,
Yep,
you're going to keep love.
that's very true. You said it. You said it. Only because you got love does not mean you're gonna keep a relationship. And this, I think, this part is for guys.
Yeah.
Like this is focused on guys because like girls is a different topic. But when we're talking about,
Show y'all, so don't worry, ladies. We're gonna start getting
yeah,
women energy on here, get y'all perspective. For now, you know, we also had to kick this science, man.
for the guys, I feel like once the girl goes, okay, I'm so in love with you, or I think I love you, Johnny, or I think I love you, Jason. We go, fuck it, we won her already. We don't have to do anything. Let's throw in the white towel of survival.
Yeah.
And I know that is the wrong move. That is the wrong idea. That is the wrong place or mindset to be. Because once you do that, you're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're literally done.
Love really starts coming in, you really know, all right, I gotta be on it now. Because now we got deep emotions and intense feelings going on. So we gotta really keep things in order. You know what I mean? And I think that's and this will be my last point is trying to keep these episodes under an hour because we can go on forever. But
I'm hip. Let's keep it on an hour.
I think that as men, we got to realize that as the love, that's why as men, it's important that we are very mentally strong when we go into relationships because we have to understand that once true love actually does come into the picture, now you have to be even more intelligent, even more strong.
Yeah.
Powerful, because now your relationship has a polarity that's going on, meaning because the love is there,
it's not just you fighting against yourself anymore. It's you fighting against the other person in order to keep them in the same place you guys, kind of agreed upon and met up to.
And that explains why a lot of times when as guys we have these friendships, or when friends become sexual, for example, or when two friends become to take it to that next level, it becomes a disaster sometimes after, because the friendship was lukewarm. There wasn't any intense passion yet.
Yep.
Intense passion enters the situation. Now you're dealing with a coin now, which means you're now this close, if anything goes wrong, to now hate the person.
Yeah, because you started to do the opposite.
Yeah, because when you were friends, it was like, all right, well, we're not even that serious anyways. There were no intense feelings to hate anybody. So, these are the dynamics of love that they don't tell you in school, that they don't tell you, from family, friends. We treat love like it's this elusive thing that just happens and that you don't know. It just is. We're here to tell you, to the world, man, love is definitely a beautiful thing, but it's a thing of, in and of itself. And if you want to continue to have love in your life, you must create it. You must constantly be creating love, continuing to be loving, continuing to be lovable, continuing to love yourself, continuing to do things that you love. And what you'll begin to realize is you are actually now the source of love rather than you depending on to give you that love. Because we all need love, but the question is, are you chasing love or are you creating love? Two very separate things right there, right?
That is fire.
Oh yeah.
Are you creating it or are you chasing it? And that right there, my friend. And when you said, are you the source of it? Oh my God.
Man.
Like that is like, I know a bunch of people right now that need to hear that. Like, are you the source of it? So if you're the source of anything, that means it's coming from you.
Yes.
because you either create it or destroy it
Yeah.
because you're the source of it. So fuck, man. How do you take that and how do you put that on somebody else? I think if someone told me that, if I was a girl and a guy told me, "Hey, I'm gonna be the source of the love I give you," oh my god, like I would just be like, "Damn, like what the fuck do you mean?"
Yeah. That would be a tough. Like she'd have to watch this whole thing to get it. I'd be like, I'm
Yeah,
like, watch
because
this.
like just the abundance behind that way of saying things. It's way stronger than just going, "Oh yeah, me and this girl just love each other." That's where everyone's coming from. Oh yeah, that's just my shawty. We just love each other.
Yeah. The love is just we just love each other.
But why do you guys love each other? Where does it come from? Oh, because we have the same things. We're kind of, we like. Okay. A lot of other guys like the same things she likes too, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
so, so it's like, sheesh.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, for men, like, if we're talking about love and getting to love girls and shit, men, be careful with falling into the trap that love is gonna save you.
Yeah. Exactly.
I feel like that's what it is.
That's huge.
That's
Falling.
all I gotta say. I think that's my ending point. Be careful. Yeah, just be careful that you think love is the only thing that matters and love is the only thing that's gonna win over everything. It is true, but when we're talking about females, mm, it's not so true. It's not so, that reality is not that real because me, for example, I've been in relationships where I thought love was all I needed. And what I got out of that was, sheesh, I need to know more.
Yeah.
That wasn't it. That wasn't it. Like, that just wasn't it. And I seen on and on and on and on that there's plenty of guys that are super nice guys and they have so much love they could give to this girl and they do it super good. It's just not enough.
Yeah.
And they're always wondering why. And they're like, but I bought her this, but I showed her that and I had this and I had the status or I had the money and I took her out here and I bought her whatever she wanted and we did whatever, we wanted her to do. We went here. It, it's not enough, that love thing. And I loved her so much. I told her I cared about her. It's just not enough. It's supposed to be there, but it's just not enough. That's when we break down into um, what we say is more hitting the survival point of women, and you need the polarity of that as well, the survival part and also the love part. And I feel like people are missing both. You're
Yeah.
either one-sided. You either have so much survival that there's no love, or you have so much love there is no survival. And it's kind of finding the balance between those two.
That's huge. That's huge. And my last point is kind of just piggybacking off of that is just the idea that look, people like we gotta treat love as understand love for what it is, understand that it's something of itself, and understand that it's important that when it comes to relationships, we don't just focus on love. We focus on love and the other things that the relationship needs so that
Exactly.
we can have love and relationships work together in an artistic way.
Mm,
Basically telling everyone become the artist when it comes to love. Um, and if you
yes.
are artists, artists are the source of their creations. That's what makes you an artist. And if you become the artist when it comes to love and survival, you'll begin to become the source of your love and survival rather than be chasing it, trying to get it externally. Um, and I think that's very powerful. I think everything we touched on today was very powerful, as always, with my brother Jason. And honestly, man, I hope you learned a lot, man. Those are my ending words. And y'all stay tuned. I'm going to begin to have special guests coming onto the show. I'm going to have some females coming on the show, some high-level teachers coming on the show, just kicking it. And once again, people, if you have any questions, let me know. Email me at godjohnny speaks@gmail.com. You could also find us on Instagram, God_Johnny. JANI, GOD_JANI. Let them know your tag, and that's me on Twitter and Instagram. How about you, Jason?
Um, Mine, you can find me on either Twitter, but I mostly be on Instagram mostly. Uh, and I usually post there. Twitter is just a thing I kind of enjoy because of the laughters and insights. And sometimes I speak my truth there, but not so much because I feel like everyone's bullshitting on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's just like a fun thing to be on.
Yeah.
Instagram, I feel like it's a little different. Instagram is like you actually have your personality there. You tell who you are on Instagram. That's what I like about social media. My social media is JAYY_wonders with the S at the end. And it's J Wonders. So JAYY Wonders with the underscore in the middle. And yeah, follow me on there. I'll be posting. Oh, we also got the YouTube channels.
Yeah.
And this is probably going to go on God of Johnny's YouTube channel, but I don't know what the name of that is.
Yeah, it's on.
Or is it God of Johnny?
I'm sorry, it's God Johnny Speaks YouTube channel. All one word, God Johnny Speaks. And how about you? Your YouTube?
YouTube is just J Wonders, like I said, with the S at the end, and there's no underscore there.
It's 2 Y's, right?
And it's just straight. Yeah, 2 Y's. So 2 Y's with the S at the end with Wonders. And yeah, we just be speaking some real shit. We're always, doing our thing, but also trying to send our message out. Whatever the fuck this message is.
Message today, y'all, said it's on love. What is love? That's what I would title this. And I hope you all learned a lot. Spread the message. Let people know what real love is, so that we don't gotta be listening to these love songs that be having us all sad and shit. Real love.
Oh my god, these love songs aren't even that. These love songs aren't even real love songs. They're like fucking. They're songs to destroy you.
They really are.
I'll catch a grenade for you. You didn't do shit for me, but I will do everything that I can do.
I'll catch a grenade.
Like you.
Oh, man. That is great, and I guarantee that song would definitely do damage if we got the right person to sing. So
they're like, yeah, he's so right, Bruno. You're so right. I should definitely, go out there and chase the girl that fucked me over.
Yeah, right. Shout out. Yeah, Bruno. I'm about to go out there, man. I'm catching that grenade, man. Fuck it. I don't matter, man. I'm gonna sit here and watch the Titanic and really get on my love shit now.
Yeah. You said I'm gonna get on my.
We're gonna let y'all go, man. Thanks for tuning in, and
yes, sir.
So we'll talk soon. Be blessed. We'll see you on the other side. Peace out.